I would like to speak now about talent managers, something that we used to call more likely personal managers. Many actors get their agent through a talent manager. Now, there's a lot has been said and written about the differences between what a talent agent does and a talent manager does. What we do know is that the purview, more specifically for a talent agent, is to seek employment for a client. And then because they are licensed as talent agents, employment agents, they can negotiate contracts. And if they're union affiliated, that gives them even more, for lack of a better word, vetting. That talent managers, I'm just going to thumbnail this because it goes into all kinds of shades of gray. Talent managers, most people would say, oversee all aspects of your career. Okay, one of which may be to get you an agent if you don't have one. But I've danced around this a million different ways. I've written about it many, many times, and I'm not here to discuss like really the legalities of managers seeking representation and all of that, except for to say that in point of fact, many of them do. And casting directors will put out breakdowns that will say to all agents and managers, and many casting directors will say, I don't care where I get it, what I need, as long as I get it. So managers will submit. One thing that works for a lot of people is this. A talent manager will sometimes say to an actor, I work with 5 really good talent agencies. Okay, you're not on the map enough yet for me to take you to one of them. You and I are going to work together. We're going to do everything together. You're going to be proactive. I'm going to be proactive. And let's see where we can take you so that once you're on the map more, I can take you to one of those 5 people who will then see you as a viable, bankable, on the map kind of person. The people that tend to be best at this are talent managers who are former agents. And that's because when they left the agency business, they took all of their casting contacts with them. So those people are still live and viable relationships. So I can see a lot of times, I've said to an actor when they said they have a manager and the manager gets them all kinds of auditions for everything imaginable, I've said that person was probably, very possibly, not necessarily, an agent, and I sometimes look into it and I see that they were. So this is what I'm talking about, this idea of this middle ground. A manager saying to you, I have a half a dozen really good people. They're not ready for you yet. I don't want to put you with anybody that's not very good. So let's see what we can do together. Here's an example. It may seem like an extreme example, but it points out the subject. I don't mean that this happens every 5 minutes. A young actor that I knew went to a venue that had managers as well as agents, okay? He did his thing, the sides, the monologues, whatever they asked for. And there was the manager who said, I want to work with you. And they started to work together. The manager said to the actor, I work with a half a dozen really, really good agencies, and you're not really ready for them because you haven't done anything yet, but the potential is there. So he said, I'm going to see what I can do to get you on the map. So what happened next was this young actor got like a 6-episode arc, they call it, guest star, immediately. Huge, like 3-4 scenes an episode of a half a dozen shows, of a half a dozen episodes of one particular series immediately. So he had all of that. So what his manager did was he got in touch with one of the, possibly the biggest agency in the world, a contact that he had there, and he said, I've got this kid, and I just sent him out one time, and now he has 6 episodes of that, and he's guest starring, and it's huge, and it's recurring, and do you want to take a look at his work, because it's airing right now. And the manager said, yeah, let me take a look at what he's up to. And then the agent, the big shot agent said, I want to talk to him. And that manager and that actor and that agent had a very strong team very quickly. It doesn't usually happen that fast, but I'm bringing it up to make a point of how sometimes actors work with managers. And also to speak to our overall theme here, a lot of times, as I say, when I'm working with an actor, I will say to the actor, how did you get your agent? I will always say that. And they will say, my manager. Now, they may or may not still be with that manager for any number of reasons. The contract may have ended. They might have gone their separate ways, very often amicably, but they still have the agent. So I'm bringing it up because it is a way that some actors get an agent. A manager sets it up for them. And that's kind of what I have to say about talent managers in terms of getting an actor an agent. If not sooner, then perhaps later. So that's the story there. Thank you.